YouTube. Oh boy. What a day. I've been running around with COVID-19 currently still running rampant in the United States. Trying to do anything here is like an exercise in frustration. Because everything, if you have to deal with the government at all for anything, which I'm having to deal with for everything, a lot of the agencies are shut down, or by phone only, by appointment only. But even if it by even just trying to reach them on the phone, you can't get through. You always get the voicemails or it's a pre-recorded message that sends you to the website. I don't know if they just don't have people working or what. But it's kind of complicated. I don't want to get into too much detail because it's still all in the air right now. But regardless, needless to say, I have to deal with right now the state of Florida. Okay, the state of Florida. I'm dealing with, trying to work with them, as well as Brevard County. I have to deal with them. That's 2 government agencies. And then I have to deal with 2 or 3 other countries. The government of 2 or 3 other countries. So things are kind of complicated, to say the least. But the good news is I did accomplish what I could accomplish today. I got some signatures. I had to deal with the school board, the Brevard County School Board. That was an unpleasant experience, but the good news is they were professional, so it went without incident. Those of you wondering what's going on, Brevard County School Board used to be my employer, and we kind of had a falling out. But because of the situation, and I needed them. It's like I had to eat crow. But they were professional, let me put it that way. So what I needed done got done. It was done within 5 minutes. So, it was not too unpleasant. But I still have to deal with the state of Florida, and I have to deal with the United States government. And then I have to deal with potentially Thailand, potentially Argentina. It's complicated. And all these countries have their various policies regarding COVID-19. The United States is really out of those countries. I think Thailand actually has COVID-19 under control. I was talking to my friend, and he says they haven't had an outbreak there in months, like 0. So the country pretty much had it under control since April. The virus became like worldwide, well known, starting like late February. And Thailand, as well as a few other countries in Asia, took the appropriate response, which was everybody wore masks, they shut everything down, they quarantined everyone, they sent everybody home. So the country went on lockdown, and within 2 months, the outbreak stopped. And they won't allow anyone back in there unless you come from a country that has no COVID, like Thailand. Meanwhile, the United States is continuing to climb numbers. They're opening everything back up, even though we're getting more infections. And then now they're running, if you're on Facebook or anything like that, you see that meme saying, 96% of the COVID deaths weren't really COVID. People had pre-existing conditions. Like, they wouldn't have died if they didn't get COVID, which exasperated that condition. It's like saying, the people who died because something triggered it. The trigger is not what killed them. You know, I just had to leave Walmart, and it's like, what's interesting is like companies have taken it upon themselves to, at this point, you know, have mandate mask wearing. But I still see people not wearing it correctly. Although today Walmart wasn't too bad. It looked like everybody was wearing it properly, you know. But oftentimes I go to these stores, even though they're mandated, people are still wearing them like they're wearing it like a hat. You know, they're wearing it with their nose exposed. They're wearing it on their head. I don't mean like over their face. I mean like a hat. Or they're wearing it as a handkerchief, you know, underneath their chin completely, underneath on their neck. So I'm like, you know, I don't know if these people just don't know how to wear a mask, which I doubt, or they are protesting the mask wearing, but they're in a place that's mandating it because it's not a mandate by the city or the county or the state. So as long as that continues, you're going to have this situation where it keeps spreading. You know, and I just can't even comprehend that a country like the United States is responding like one of the worst responses in the whole world. You know, Thailand is like a third world country, and it has it under control. And I think Vietnam has it under control. Most of the Asian countries have it under control at this point. A few exceptions. I'm not sure what the status is in Europe, but I think the numbers there are stabilizing and going down, except for a few countries there too. You know, so most countries are getting it under control. South America, Central America, I think are going crazy. They're having problems there too. They're having a hard time controlling it. And, you know, I don't know what to say. The virus itself, as far as people know, you should know within 2 or 3 weeks, you know, when you have it will either kill you or not. So if everybody were to take it seriously, and I'm not talking about just a county, city, or whatever, but worldwide, everybody just put on the mask and stay away from each other and try to isolate as much as possible, you know, reduce movement. Within 3 weeks, the virus could be exterminated by itself. I mean, it just runs its course and dies. Virus doesn't last that long. It requires a host. And as long as people move about and don't take the precautions, and then you got like Florida right now with the highest numbers, you know, and growing. They're opening the schools. They're trying to act like everything is normal. I just had a death in the family related to COVID-19 on my wife's side. So don't tell me this is some kind of stuff, okay? This is a family that's dead now. They were alive 3 weeks ago. So I'm telling you, if you still think it's a hoax, I don't know what to say to you. I've had coworkers lose people, you know, so it's affecting me directly. And, you know, it's affecting me even in trying to plan ahead for the future. And I know any of you who are trying to plan more than 1 day or 2 days, trying to plan out, it's nearly impossible because of the situation, because nobody knows what's going to happen next, at least in America. Now, in other countries where it's under control, you can sort of plan, but if nothing, COVID-19 has shown that the world is interconnected. How America is responding and stuff is affecting the whole world, or how China responds, or however, you know, Russia or everybody else is responding. They all kind of tie in together. And the fact of the matter is the virus spread from one centralized area, you know, presumably from China out to the rest of the world. So we're all interconnected. And the only way to resolve the situation is to respond to it as a group, not, well, I don't like the mask, I can't breathe, I can't whatever. Well, stay home, stay away from, you know, potentially spreading it. Well, you know, I'm young, it doesn't affect me, so I'm just going to spread it to everybody else and kill your mom and your grandmother and your cousins or whatever. Because it doesn't affect me I don't care if it kills your family. That's the response I'm seeing in America, which to me, I'm like, what the heck? You know, why aren't you doing everything you can to end the situation? Just because it doesn't affect you directly, maybe it affects somebody else, or maybe it'll end up affecting your grandparents or your parents or your brothers or sisters. You know, you're going to wait until it affects them, and then you're going to say, well, you were wrong, it wasn't a hoax. That's the reason other people have died. You know, and if it is a hoax and you put it on the mask and you do the social distancing and stuff, what are you really doing? Well, you're responding to a hoax, but you're at least taking the precautions, taking it seriously, just in the case that it might save somebody. So, you know, and those of you saying fear-monger, shove it up your ass. I lost a family member because of it. So shove it up your ass. You know, you don't believe in it. You go out there and hopefully you get it. You know, I don't want to say that about anybody, but I'm tired of these idiots telling everybody that they're fear-mongering or whatever, when, you know, they're the morons spreading this shit. So stay away from people. You know, the problem that I'm having is that if you have to go buy food or whatever, you have to get out in public and you have to deal with that. And when you go out to the public and those other people aren't taking the precautions, you could get infected. So even if you yourself are taking all the precautions, because the others aren't, you know, it ends up infecting. And, you know, that to me is just like, I don't know what to do. I don't think it's ever going to end in America as long as the people continue to behave the way they do. Self-centered, basically. You know, self-centered a-holes. That's all I can say. And if you're a viewer that does that, you need to leave this channel. I don't like a-holes on my channel. So, you know, you can go ahead and not wear it and stuff around your house. Nobody gives a hoot. But when you're out there in public and you're blatantly, potentially spreading it, you're killing people's families. And, you know, with the state of Florida, they've already opened up the schools, and it's only been a couple days, and the people are dying already. I got teacher friends that got infected, and they took all the precautions. They're in a classroom, stuck there with, like, a bunch of kids that belong to those idiots that keep saying fear-mongering. You know, you got people who are being infected from those people who may be carriers, and they may be asymptomatic. My son was exposed. You know, his aunt and uncle had it, and they all had to go under quarantine. So they tested my son, and, you know, they tested him twice, you know, and they confirmed before he went out of quarantine. So he seems to be okay. The big problem with this particular virus, the tests may, you know, you can't breathe, and then you're dying, and then 10 days later, 2 weeks later, you're dead. You know, so they will test you and stuff, but sometimes I think even if they get a negative test, you could still be positive and spreading it. So I feel sorry for the first responders, the nurses and doctors and stuff that have to deal with this stuff, because I have a lot of friends who are doctors and nurses, and they have to treat these people who say it's not a big deal. They get infected, and then they can end up affecting my friends who are taking it seriously. What does it hurt you to care about other people enough to try to stop it just in case it is real? And if you still don't believe it's real, even though I have dead relatives, you're an a-hole. You really are. You know, and I'm watching it as the school, Brevard, just opened up their school, like, I think last week. And already they've got several teachers have been infected. And the issue is this: they got no nurses in the schools. You know, they've been cutting, I don't even get into education in Florida, but they've been cutting all the funds and stuff because they say the lottery was supposed to originally supplement the education budget. That's how they sold the lottery to the public in Florida. They said they would use the lottery money raised from the lottery, and then they would go ahead and supplement the budget for education so education could be improved. And then what they did was they took the money from the lottery and then they cut the education budget. They ended up using the lottery money as if it were the only education budget. There is no education budget anymore. It's like lottery money. So now they're using the lottery as if it was the budget for education. And then they've been cutting stuff. They've been cutting services and things. The lottery is basically, I know some of you see me play the lottery on here and stuff. I play it just for fun and stuff. But also because if I broadcast it on YouTube, I actually make money on those even when I lose. I don't make a lot of money. Most of the time I just make my money back. So it doesn't really cost me anything, and it's kind of fun for the viewers as well as myself. And we might actually win. But most of the time you lose the lottery. That's how the states make money. Gambling is an issue where, hey, you know what, I went the wrong way. I'm gonna go the other way. I'm trying to take you guys to a nice park, show you how to get there. This is State Road 520 in Florida. It is a road that leads right into Titusville from Orlando. You've seen me drive this road before, State Road 520. So we're gonna go on State Road 520 eastbound. So if you're on I-95 and you're heading south, you're gonna turn left onto State Road 520. If you're coming northbound, you're heading north on I-95, you're gonna turn right, take the exit. But we're not gonna stay on 520 because, not 520, 50, State Road 50. If you stay on State Road 50, you'll end up beachside. You end up at the beach. Matter of fact, I don't know if beach you end up at. No, I think it might dead end. It might dead end on US 1. Yeah, it does. So we're going to go to the side road here, which is a nice little road. So you come down on 50. We're on 50 heading east right now. You can see a road called 405 to downtown Titusville. And if you take 405 to the right, you end up at the Kennedy Space Center. Remember all my the little road that I was driving on? That was 405 when you saw me working at the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Center. But we're going to go on 405. I don't know if it's considered north or west. I think it's considered west. We're going to take 405 from State Road 50. State Road 50 is also called Cheney Highway. Cheney Highway. So we're going to head on, is it 405? I get 405 and 407. I get those two so mixed up, but I think it's 405. But we're going to head over on this side road right here. And I'm going to take you to a really nice park. The park is called Fox Lake. And Fox Lake is really pretty, very scenic. You can't camp overnight. I don't think you can camp overnight. But they got like a boat launch, so you can launch your boat there into the lake. The lake is huge. If you Google it, Fox Lake in, I think it's in Titusville. I think it's considered to be in Titusville. But if you Google Fox Lake, you can come here if you have a boat, a little boat. They have a lake, and the lake is actually a whole bunch of lakes that are interconnected. I've never been on the lake, but it's huge. The portion that I'm going to show you is just a small portion of the lake, because to see the lake, really, you need to be on a boat. But the park itself has access to the lake, so you can go fishing. You don't have to have a boat. You can go fishing from the shore. I think it's fresh water, though. And in Florida, at least in this area, I think if you're going to go freshwater fishing, you have to have a license. You can buy the fishing license at Walmart. Otherwise, if you're fishing in it and a cop stops you, or a warden, game warden, or a ranger or whatever, you're going to get a fine. So if you like freshwater fishing in lakes and stuff like that, and you're in Florida, make sure you go by the Walmart to get a like a year, whatever license. I think they run like only like $20 or something like that. And it's just this dinky little piece of paper you keep in your wallet, and when the police or whatever show up, you just show them. Now, if you're a kid in Florida, like I don't know, those of you who follow me, you see my son fishing a lot. If you're under 16, I don't think you need a license. I think you're allowed to fish for free. So at least they allow kids to fish for free. And if you're just passing through Florida and you want to fish for free, I think they still require you to have a license, but you can get a free license from Walmart for this turn right here is called Fox Lake. So the road itself is called Fox Lake, and if you turn left, you'll head right over to Fox Lake, which is a fantastic lake. And there's like trails back there. Some people like ride horses back there. So it goes through a tiny little residential area and then some private houses out here in nice land. You'd almost think these people were out in the middle of nowhere, but they're actually still within, close to the city. But when you start to come out here, it looks isolated, even though it's not. You might be wondering why I'm driving here. I just did all my paperwork and stuff with the city, the county, the school board, and I still have to deal with more with the state. I still have to deal with the state, and then the countries. I still got to deal with the countries. So I'm working my way up. But after dealing with all that, running around, getting things notarized, getting all the legal stuff done, I'm taking a break. I'm so I always get wired when I have to deal with these things. And then having to, whenever I try not to go to like Walmart anymore unless I absolutely have to. But when I end up in those kind of places, I always come out all like wired, like you see me right now, because I'm looking around at all the people and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like a brewing spot. Home Depot, Walmart, any place with people. If they were all wearing masks, which they were at Walmart because it's mandated now, it's not so bad, especially if everybody actually is consciously trying to not spread it. You can tell they tried it because they don't push or shove or cut in line and come right next to you, They try to maintain that distance, and then if they see you going down an aisle, they skip that aisle and they go to the next aisle. And those of you keep saying fear-mongering, you're the moron spreading this shit, so cut it out. Everybody else is taking it seriously. And whether or not, even if it's not real, which you are an idiot, because, like I said, I have people that I know personally in my family that are dead from it. So, like I said, I get stressed out when I go to those places. But you can see this is a beautiful place. You can actually park your car here. There's some people fishing, bring little chairs and stuff. Some of you might have seen me broadcast from here before, but this is Fox Lake. It is absolutely beautiful. So, just wanted to give you a quick drive through, and then I'm probably going to chill here a little bit just to calm myself down, because I'm all flustered from having to deal with the county and the state and the people of Walmart. But they got this little loop that you can drive through. Also, there's pavilions, like picnic pavilions and stuff. You can contact the county to reserve these pavilions, or you can just, you can just pull up when there's nobody here. You're allowed to use it. But if somebody has reserved it, they can obviously kick you out. So, if you're local to the area and stuff, it's worth a stop here to hang out. They've got fresh water, so you can get water, and they got a bathroom. They got several bathrooms that you can access. And this is one of the few parks that I still see that left the bathrooms and stuff open and clean them and maintain them. Most of the public bathroom facilities around this area, they are all locked, you know, unless you're in the store. But like a lot of them at the parks and even at the piers, the docks and stuff like that, they're locked. And I'm like, okay, so you got these public places and you don't let people use the bathroom, which to me is like messed up. That's what's going on with COVID-19, you know. But this particular park, the ranger's pretty cool. The people who work here do a really good job keeping it clean. They also have, this is the boat launch area right here. So they got a little ramp that you can launch, but they have a little dock. So you can actually come here and fish off the docks. Now, I'm going to be honest. My son and I come here quite a bit, you know, because it's so scenic. But he's never caught anything here. At least on this side of the lake, you know, out here at the park. And I don't know if it's just because the fish are so used to people fishing here that they know not to bite the bait, you know, the fake bait or even real bait. They know how to spot a, you know, bait on a fishing pole. Wanted to show you if you want to hike, if you like hiking and stuff, you can park your vehicle all along here in any of the grassy spots. But back here, so it says Fox Lake. I don't know if you can see the green sign ahead. I'm going to zoom in there. It says Fox Lake Sanctuary. So you can actually walk back there. And I'm not going to walk back there right now, but I've gone back there with my son and we took our bike. You know, my son and I took our bikes back there, and it was kind of interesting because it's like this, almost like a BMX trail. Wow, that van would be so nice to live in. Look at this big, huge van. That would be a nice van to convert into an RV, you know, or into a camper. Or even look at this one, Brownings. I'm seeing all these campers here. They look like businesses. Could be a stealth, you know, but I doubt it. But I don't know. You never know. People sometimes go out of their way to make things look a certain way. I'm going to try to go around this guy in the boat. But you can park out here. If you have kids, they open the playground back up. For a while, the playground was shut down, but they've opened it back up. Probably because Florida is saying that, you know, the governor is saying there's no COVID, that it's under control. So if it's under control, they're kind of forcing things like the county parks and everything to open back up. So, you know, on the one hand, you look at things. I'm just gonna pull over so we can talk. Let me pull over by the water, you know, instead of just parking out here. But see these little pavilions? Let me drive right up to it. Driving right off road through the grass, and they don't yell at me. But basically, you can pull up here in the shade. Of course, if you're like me and you have sun, you may or may not want to pull in the shade. But they have like water spigot here, and there's electrical outlet. I used to use these, but then the ranger came up to me and said, you can't use that. Because I had the RV and everything up, you know, and they were like, you can't do that. And I was like, all right. So I don't know if you go out there with a little, you know, a little rice cooker and you cook on it, they might leave you alone. But if you're out there with an RV, they say you can't do that. You can't hook up to their electric. So, but, you know, they leave them on. At least the last time I was here, they still leave them on. You just can't hook up your RV. You can't park your RV there. You can park your RV there, but don't have it hooked up. Because if you hook it up, the ranger will come. So, but if you're there and you have like a rice cooker or something and you're sitting on a table, I suspect they might leave you alone. It's crazy, but that's how they're working. But anyhow, what I wanted to say was, I forgot what I was going to say. On the one hand, I think it's important, you know, to keep things like parks open, because psychologically, people are getting depressed, and some people are committing suicide. People, you know, suicide rate is up. Oh man, I'm in mud. This is bad. I'm actually in mud. I shouldn't have came here. I don't know if you can hear that. I'm slipping. Car is slipping. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. There's mud here. Let me try to figure out how to get out of here. This thing is front wheel drive, and I'm actually stuck. So what we're gonna do, you get to watch me try to get unstuck without getting mud all over me. I am going to try to turn. And you can see that didn't work. Shit. Let me take a look. This is great. So you guys can see the disaster that just happened. We sank, we turned off, we sank, and look how deep it went in. You can see the tire is actually like stuck. We are literally stuck. So look how badly we are stuck. Question is what to do. I'm gonna go ahead and what I'm gonna do is actually, because even where I'm walking I'm sinking. Okay, so parking in the grass and driving through the grass at this park at Fox Lake may not be the best idea. I think what I'm gonna do, believe it or not, I'm gonna attempt to push this van. So I have to stop the filming because I'm gonna try to push. And I think my best bet, instead of going further, deeper in and getting even worse, I'm gonna go backwards. I'm gonna try to push. Oh my God, this is gonna be a mess because obviously it's super muddy right here. That's why we sunk in. But I'm gonna attempt to push my van back out. So stay tuned. We'll go live for part 2 as we attempt to get unstuck. All right, take care, everybody. Wish me luck. Bye-bye now.